Once upon a time, there was a startup that aimed to replace phpMyAdmin. It wanted to make databases feel less like databases. No endless command line windows, no intimidating SQL interfaces, no bouncing between 5 different tools just to answer a simple question about your data. It was called Arctype, and it disappeared just as quickly as it appeared. To understand Arctype, I would like you to understand the problems it was attacking. If you are a developer, you or your AI chatbot is comfortable writing SQL, right? But there are people who want simple things. Product managers want to see how many users signed up yesterday. Marketers might want to inspect customer data, analysts might want to share queries with teammates. Traditional database clients aren't really designed around those workflows, so Arctype's bet was pretty simple. What if you could bring that spreadsheet-like experience to SQL databases? Arctype was the SQL client and database management tool that's fun to use. It could generate, format, and autocomplete SQL queries, build beautiful charts, enabled you to share queries, and let you edit tables like a spreadsheet. It aimed to replace phpMyAdmin. One of the ideas behind Arctype was that SQL queries shouldn't be just isolated pieces of code sitting on a developer's laptop. They could become assets that build charts, modify data in tables and columns that could be edited as a spreadsheet, and queries that modify them could be shared with other people. People quickly gathered around Arctype. It even had a Discord community with approximately 2,000 developers and database administrators where it discussed specific issues to Arctype, searched for answers to questions, and solved other issues. The community discussed a variety of things until September of 2022, when the Arctype team has decided that the product was serving too specific of a niche. There was nowhere to go. With a database tool, you could only support so many databases, and it had no way to expand beyond what it was currently capable of doing. So the Arctype team has started contacting multiple companies around the database scene in regards to acquisition, and one of them, ClickHouse, has responded saying that it would be very interested in acquiring them. For ClickHouse, the acquisition made a lot of strategic sense. ClickHouse had built a powerful analytical database, while Arctype was a powerful, unique SQL client that aimed to replace phpMyAdmin but eventually became a part of ClickHouse Cloud instead. Nowadays, people that built Arctype are building ClickHouse, and Arctype itself was ultimately discontinued, with its end of life arriving later in 2022. And just like that, Arctype went from an ambitious, independent startup aiming to replace one of the most well-known database administration tools in history to becoming history itself, remembered mostly by the people who worked on it. The company may be gone, but the problem it was trying to solve definitely isn't. And if you look closely at today's data landscape, you can still see traces of the idea Arctype was betting on, even if you have probably never even heard of the tool that helped pioneer it. That was Arctype, the database startup you never knew existed.